Okay. Sorry, my grandkids just got back from daycare and I'm trying to get dinner and all that situated for them.
You're doing fine.
I'll mute you again.
Sounds like dinner's not coming fast enough. Eating a banana.
Thank you, Kelsey, for changing your name for me.
Hey, great job.
I see Lydia.
Do you know how many kids are coming at this moment?
Right now, we have 47 that are signed up, 48.
Okay.
And I'll still allow people to sign up over the next few days.
Yeah.
Just so that we take as many as we're able to fit in. It is a little smaller this year, but we do have a few spots that are open.
Okay. And then I also had a question about the list. I don't know if you want me to wait or I go ahead and ask you.
Go ahead and hold on to that till the end.
Okay.
I'll go over a little bit about the list that you guys got sent to you.
Okay.
And you can ask a question after that in case I answer it for you.
Okay.
That's all right.
Me and Candace are off here. Let's go down. That's fun.
Marlena?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Laura, Tommy's mom. Are you going to be taking like attendance here? Do you need to know which other parents that are here?
Yep, yours just says Laura, so I'll just put your last name next to it since I know who you are.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm Abby Binker, Ryder Ferguson's mom, and his sister Lila Ferguson. I emailed that she was gonna come, and I'm at Candace's, so she'll be on this in just a second too.
Okay.
My name is Crystal Sims, but my Facebook and Gmail is under Crystal Stetler.
Stetler, okay.
But my name is Sims, so Tobias Sims. I'm here for Tobias Sims.
I have a son named Tobias.
Oh, do you? How old?
He's 13.
Oh, mine is 8. He'll be 9.
Yeah.
My first nephew is named Tobias and he's 7 months old. I never heard of the name of Tobias until my brother named him.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. And I've been a nurse for 17 years and never heard of the name Tobias until they picked the name.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
So,
I was looking for an older name. I have a Miles and an Elijah.
Yeah.
And a Tobias and a basic Sean Jr.
And I worked at Riley even, and no baby ever named Tobias came into my waiting room until I had a nephew just 8 months ago. And I'm like, I never heard of the name. And now everyone is telling me they have someone. I'm like, how did I never hear of the name? And now everyone I run into has a Tobias in their family. I'm like, what?
That's how I feel about the name Miles. That Miles, I went working at a daycare, I heard it. And then now I hear it everywhere.
My grandpa's named Miles.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
I'm on a video Zoom call for Tobias, so I could really use your guys' help with your nieces while I'm trying to do this instead of running back outside. Let me mute this.
Okay, so I'm on here. You can't see me, but I'm on here for a Sean, Jahia, Traven, and Alonzo.
Yep. Brittany, your name is up there, so I'll just connect it with the one whose name you're on the registration for.
Okay, I'm not on registration for a Sean and Alonzo. I'm only on registration for Traven and Jahia.
Okay.
Yeah.
They come up under Hardesty on here, so I'll just connect you with them.
Okay, yeah. You can do that.
If they say anything to you, you're a parent, you're a parent.
We've got more.
We'll wait a few more minutes and then we'll get started. Thanks everybody for jumping on here early. I appreciate it.
I have a question. I have to work the day of the drop-off.
Mhm.
And I was wondering if my girlfriend could drop off my child. Her child is also being dropped off the same day.
Yes, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Not a problem at all. I have someone on here. It says iPhone. If you could change the name of yours to what your first and last name
Hey,
is.
kiddo.
What camper?
I'm on the video call for your camp. I'm on your video call for your camp.
Yeah.
Marlena,
Yes.
so along with like Ryan's question that he just had, do you need to know in advance? Because I have clinicals and I do clinicals on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I will need to have an alternate drop off for him. Do you need to have the name of that person or just for him to show up?
For when you drop them off, as long as they're showing up with an adult, that's fine. If you have someone else picking them up other than you, I need to know that name. Ryan, I believe, is one that just said that someone else is dropping off, but she also has a camper. That's
Yes.
totally fine. If you have someone else picking up, that is more of the concern. I want to make sure that your kid goes home with the right person.
Okay, thank you.
You're very
How do we get that paper to fill out?
So when you come and check in on Tuesday, just let them know and they'll write it next to the name, which will come back to me so that we know how many kids are at camp. And I'll just make sure on Friday when they get picked up that that is the person that your child is released to.
Okay.
We'll wait a couple more minutes. It's not quite 6 and we'll wait just a minute or two past then and then we'll go.
Wes?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have registered right now? Because I think last year that you had, I think it was max of 90, but I think I saw an email from Marlena, something about 40 or something. How many, do you know how many you have right now?
Marlena said 47 and a normal camp is 84. So we intentionally limited the number, but we do have space for a few more if we get a few more signups. So.
Thank you.
Yep. One more minute here and then we'll just roll. And if people come in a little late, I'll try to catch them and admit them as they show up. Marlena, are you catching all the names and connecting the dots with kids?
I am. I've got just one that I'm checking. Nope, she changed it. We're good. Yep, I've got everybody that's currently connected. I'll try to keep up to date with that as we go.
Great. Very good. Well, let's go ahead and get rolling. I haven't met any of you before. My name is Wes Tillett.
Hi, Wes.
Hi, I'm the new executive director. So Joe Micon retired and I started in at LUM in April. So I'm not a rookie at LUM camp, however. I did do LUM camp about 12 years ago. My wife actually was the Marlena Edmondson back then. She ran LUM camp and I volunteered. I had one episode where we were launching water balloons there and an errant water balloon hit a kid in the head, but we're not launching any water balloons this year, so it shouldn't be a problem. Instead, we're dealing with COVID-19, and we've made a lot of adjustments to make this as absolutely safe as possible. I sincerely believe that your kids are going to be safer at LUM camp than if they were just running around the neighborhood when it comes to COVID-19. So I think it's going to be a really good camp. So the plan is for Marlena to really be the voice tonight, because she's really the brains behind the whole operation, and she's doing a fantastic job. If you have a question, you can do one of two things. We ask you to ask your question at the end, so just kind of let us present our material first, please. You can either chat down at the bottom, you can type in a question, or if you want, you can, when the time comes, you can raise your hand physically like this, or you can even get more technological and raise your hand under reactions. You can do a thumbs up or a clap or whatever, and we will know that that's you. Generally speaking, I will try to keep you muted while we're talking through this. We'll unmute at the end when people have a chance for more questions. So that's the plan. Marlena, are you ready?
I am.
All righty, take her away.
All right, thank you, Wes. So as Wes said, we have a fun week planned for your kids. It is a little different from what we typically do at camp, but we have educational activities planned, and we have our traditional fun camp out in the sunshine kind of activities that the kids still get to do this year. Every moment of their day is scheduled with some sort of fun activity or eating, which is usually what makes us all happy. So this year, we have a schedule of activities that are based a little bit around our theme, which is join the green side. We're wanting kids to understand how they can help the environment and take care of the environment, and preserving and conserving nature. So they will get to see how they can do that with some craft activities. They'll get to see that as they take a hike through the woods here at Hanging Rock. They have like 200 plus acres of land that is just gorgeous. And they'll get to learn about how to help birds in nature during their hike, in addition to their traditional camp activities. So they still get to do the climbing wall. They still get to do the zip line, which you're seeing an image of right now. They'll still get to go swimming. We're doing horses, paddle boats. They'll get time in the creek, which is not high right now, but they will find all kinds of creepy crawlies out there at the moment. So they'll have some fun doing that as well. We have a few arts and crafts for them. One of the changes that they might notice in our schedule is that we typically have like Purdue and members of the community that would be here to present for us, that would teach a lot of those educational pieces. But in order to decrease the number of people coming to campus, so decreasing our exposure to more people, we have kept it very, very small in our presenters. But your kids will get to still do Professor Steve. If you remember a couple years ago, if you have older campers that were here and your kids tried to show you how to use force to make toilet paper blow off of the roll real fast, that's Professor Steve. He likes to have engaging presentations that teach kids science, but also making it fun at the same time. And he was available for us this year. So we will have him here along with our magician who presents with his own children. That's a pretty long-term activity we've had at LUM, and we're lucky to have him come back. So those are the two presenters that we will have this year. Everything else is going to be at Hanging Rock. Typically, our campers have had to pick between a couple activities when they've had free time. This year, they get to do all of them. So instead of picking if they want to play putt-putt, or if they want to play kickball, or if they want to play on the playground, they now have an assigned time to do all of those activities. So they'll get to try everything that we have here. which I'm super excited about. That is probably the biggest change we've got, is that those individual activities, they'll get to have a hand in and not have to choose between what they prefer to do. I want to guarantee you guys every year, it's important that we let you know, our counselors, we are working on 24 counselors, so each cabin will have 3, so that your camper is supervised 100% of the time by somebody that I personally trust to care for your kids, to make sure that they are safe, to engage them in these fun activities. We don't let campers go off on their own. We don't let campers stray from what we got going on. It is a beautiful, beautiful place out at Hanging Rock, but we ensure to you that they will never be out of eyesight of a caring adult while they are at camp. We, as a past counselor myself, engage in the activities too. The rock wall is one of my favorites. And so they will be there alongside with your campers the whole way, doing a lot of these fun activities with them. Our typical schedule, believe it or not, we get our kids up about 7 o'clock in the morning. That might not be something that they are used to right now, as we're getting out of our summer routines and really getting ready for school. But we will have them up at 7. We will have them fed around 8 o'clock for breakfast. And then they start their rotations for the morning with all of our activities. Before they know it, it's time to eat again, and we're back at lunch. And then after lunch, we do have a deer time, which is drop everything and read. We supply books for our kids at a number of different levels of reading. So they get a little bit of reading time in there before their afternoon rotations begin. Then again, it's time to eat. I'm always shocked by how fast those meals come around. But we'll hit up dinner, and we'll do one rotation after dinner of activities, and then we have what we call our camp-wide activities. So the first day, your campers will do a craft with just their cabin, and they will get to make s'mores. This is the first year we've gotten to do s'mores, so we're very excited about that. The second day, before we move on to Wednesday, we have kids in bed by about 9, which might be shocking to think that your children are going to be ready to go to bed at 9 if they've been ones to stay up with their summer schedule like I am. But when every minute of your day has some fun activity and or eating and socializing in it, you'd be surprised how quickly they lay down and just fall asleep. It's amazing. I probably get my best sleep while I'm at camp. So our days typically look like that, where we get up around 7, we have our morning chapel for 15 minutes, we eat, activities, eat, and then we have a little bit of shared time together before it's time for lights out. So that's kind of how our typical day starts. While your kids are at camp, they are going to be assigned a cabin. They stay with that cabin the entire time. With the CDC guidelines and the American Camp Association, we have limited how much the cabins are interacting with each other. When your campers are with just their cabin, they will be outside for almost every single activity on here except for the rock wall, and they will not have to wear like a mask during that time because we can socially distance while we're outside. When we come together for like right before meals and some of our activities like with the magician and with Professor Steve, we will have masks on at that time because we will be in an enclosed space and we will be closer than 6 feet. Those, other than transportation, those are the only times I would expect that to happen where we have to wear those. But during the day, most of their time is going to be spent outside in the fresh air, in the sunshine, and out in the grassy areas of hanging. Let's see. We have, let's go ahead and talk about COVID. I know that it's a concern a lot of parents have with school coming around the corner. We have followed the guidelines for the CDC and the American Camp Association, so that you guys have, somebody's not muted. If we could check and make sure everybody's got.
I got you. Oh, I muted the wrong person.
That's
Wait.
all right, I got it.
Okay.
So this is how we're gonna deal with COVID. The biggest thing is when you guys come for check-in, it's gonna be difficult during check-in with that many people all at once to stay 6 feet apart. So we are going to have X's on the ground for you so that you know where to stand as you wait in line for your turn to check in. We will be meeting at the Imagination Station, which is where we have been before. If you've been with us, it's the same spot. I'm gonna switch and share my screen with you real fast so I can show this to you. I have a map here of, if I can do this, of the Imagination Station. If you've been with us before, the buses typically pull in here or here, which doesn't give us a whole lot of space to form a line. So I'm asking when you guys arrive to please park on the side streets here where you can. Clear River Church was nice enough to let us use their parking lot last year, but we need this space here to stay open so that we can have room for the buses and room for our lines for check-in for you. These cars won't be here because the Imagination Station is closed, but we ask that you not park in this spot if you get there before the buses do. That way we can do our social distancing with you so that everyone's safe while we do check-in. We will have to take temperatures of campers while they are with us. So when you guys check in, we will take their temperature. If they are 100 or more, we will not be allowed to have them attend camp, unfortunately. But we hope that everybody will be healthy and happy and ready to go, and that not be a concern for us. So when you come, we ask that you and your camper wear a mask and that you not bring a lot of people with you. I know that it traditionally is a time where everybody's there, everybody's waiting as the buses leave, everybody's saying goodbye. But this year we ask that you limit who it is you bring with you, just so that we don't have a large crowd, and that our numbers are smaller as far as how close people are going to be together. Your camper will have to get on a bus based on their cabin this year. So all of cabin A will get to sit together. We'll have a mask on them and they'll sanitize before they get on the bus. Once they get to camp, they will be with their cabin, with their own luggage, and it won't be as strict. So that's where you're going to see COVID kind of come into play with registration, like check-in. Throughout the day, we'll take their temperature in the mornings and in the afternoons just to make sure that nothing's popping up while we're at camp. We have a retired school nurse that's on duty that will help us with this. She's at camp the entire time with us. We'll call you. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we'll call you if any concerns come up. Another place we're going to see COVID is drop off, where I'm also going to ask that you not bring a lot of extra people with you, just so we can easily get your camper to you and you guys can get loaded up in your vehicles to go. While they're at camp, they're really in the safest place out in nature with the wind blowing, and they're only going to be working like within their own cabin. The morning routine, brushing their teeth, they're going to be with the same people that they would be eating meals with. So their exposure to the other cabins is very limited. And when it does happen, they'll have their mask on. So we're being very intentional of how we scheduled our activities and when they are together, what the requirements are. It'll be great practice if you're sending your kids to school and not doing online, for them to get used to wearing that mask a little bit. But that's kind of how we're going to see things change just a smidge because of COVID. They'll still get hand sanitizer before they eat. That's a normal thing that we've done every year. We have staff that are available if anyone gets sick. Sometimes allergies, come into play when we're all out, especially with the bean and corn fields that kind of surround us. Let's talk a little bit about the nurse. Every year we have a registered nurse come to camp with us. She's the one that's going to be administering any medication. The medications that you drop off, she will be in charge of keeping those and giving them back to you. I'm lucky enough that I've worked with our nurse for about 8 years. She's amazing and does a fantastic job with 600 plus kids. So our 45 to 50 shouldn't be a challenge for her. I need you to know that if you're packing medications, do not pack them in your child's luggage. We need you to have your medications out and available to hand to the nurse at registration. She'll have bags to put them in that are marked with your camper. Your medications must be in the original container for us to take them with the script that is posted on that bottle. Our nurse is only able to give medication as it is prescribed on that bottle. And so if it's something that you want to choose not to send with them, that's totally fine and up to you. But that's how we'll have to have medications in order to accept them. We do supply our nurse with some over-the-counter meds like allergy medication because we are out in nature and my grass allergies have been crazy the last few days. She'll have things like pain reliever, cough drops. We have different lotions in case they come in contact with poison ivy or get a little too red out in the sun. She'll have things like that. When you guys registered, you guys gave permission for her to do those simple over-the-counter kind of medications. If something comes up medically that is a concern, you will either hear from Wes or myself to let you know if your camper needs to be picked up from camp. We almost never have issues with stuff like that. I think we've had like maybe pink eye once that on the first day got sent home. But typically if there's a concern for a medical issue, you're going to hear from one of us to let you know what's going on. Which means that you are going to need to know our emergency contact information. You guys have provided me with your people to call in case I can't reach you. So Wes and I are going to give you our information in case you have an emergency and need to reach your camper at camp, or let us know that you've had a family emergency and are coming to pick up your kiddo. We want to make sure that you have a fast and easy way to reach us. So if you have a pen and paper, now would be the time to get it out because I'm going to give you my cell phone number. If you've received the paper in the mail with a list of stuff, I believe my number's on that as well. But if you don't have it, it is area code 765-337-3718. I ask that only be for if you have an emergency. I would love to be able to give everybody updates on how their camper is doing, but we don't have enough time in the day for all 50 some kids to get a personal update to the parents. So it really only if you have an emergency and need to reach me right away, that's the best way to do it. Wes, if you would like to chime in and give your contact information, that'd be great.
Sure. Yep. My cell phone, 269-910-0909. I've put both of those numbers in the chat. Again, Marlena's is 765-337-3718. Mine is 269-910-0909. I moved from Michigan. That's why I have a weird looking number.
So the only time you're probably going to hear from us is if there is like a medical issue, if we have an extreme case of homesickness and camper probably needs to go home, or if we have behavior issues. When you registered your camper up for LUM camp, you agreed to the behavior expectations, which I hope you will review with your camper. We will review those when they come here with us, because it might be a little different than what they've seen like at school or at an after-school program. Because our time with these kids is so short, it's really just like four days, not even about 48 or not even about 72 hours. There's little time for us to do a lot of skill building kind of stuff. So if kids are really struggling, you might get a call if it's time for them to come home. We do have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to physical aggression. So if there's any type of physical aggression by your child or against your child, you will be notified of that. And those campers that have that behavior issue would have to come out to camp to pick them up for that. So those are the times when you're more likely to hear from me or Wes, medical or behavioral. Here at camp, we do try to really push the positive with them. With every minute being scheduled, there's not a whole lot of time for us to get into any sort of mischief out in Hanging Rock. But we do have our counselors learn how to give warnings when we're maybe not following the rules, give them a break if they're too hot, if they might be hungry, if they're really bored with the activity that they're doing. Those usually are going to lead to more behavior issues, and our counselors are taught what to do if they just need a little extra attention. Sometimes it might come to us for that, so it's going to be a process before it gets to the point of me calling you to come pick them up. That's also not a common issue that we have at camp because they have so much fun with the activities that we do. So it's not usually an issue. I just want you guys to know our plan for that.
Alina, do you want to talk a little bit about positive reinforcement and respect points?
Yes. So we love catching kids doing great things. We love rewarding them for it. We love giving them praise for it, because anytime an 8-year-old wants to hold the door open for me is precious. And we want to encourage that behavior. So our counselors are able to give respect points to cabins based on the behavior that they see. It's a lot of door holding, it's a lot of thank yous, it's a lot of helping you pick up something that you dropped. And we work really hard with our counselors that every single meal we have, they are able to get up in front of the entire camp and say, this great thing happened by this camper, and I want to give their cabin points for how great of a person that they were. So we keep track of those all week long. And at Friday, at the end of the week, we add up all of those points, and the 3 most respectful cabins will get a special prize that we have that is related to our theme. So they kind of have this big extra special prize that they're working towards. And you kind of see them pull out all the stops when it comes to being respectful and helping others. So we've got that really helps to deter them from some of the negatives that can happen when you get that many kids together. But we really push those positives and kind of be silly with it sometimes to see just how creative they can be. With nature conservation, every Thursday is our double point day, and every cabin gets a bag of an empty trash bag that they get to fill up with whatever they can find around camp, which is not much. They get real creative. They know that if they did not throw away that box that their little tube of toothpaste came in, that's going in their trash bag because they want to get extra points for how much trash they've gotten. So we really try to push those positives while they're at camp because we want it to be just a great experience for them, one of their last weeks before they go back to school. And it seems to work out every year. I'm very excited that it's something we've continued on. So let's talk about things to bring. Everybody should have either been emailed or given in the mail a physical copy of what to pack for camp. We need them to have clothes for the 4 days. It's usually hot during the day and a little cool at night. So keep that in mind. They might need like thicker pajamas than you might expect because their cabin is air conditioned. Things that they'll need to take a shower and brush their teeth. We would like for them to have closed-toed shoes, and if you want to send them in like a sandal instead, or a water shoe for the creek, that's fine. But for them to do horses and the rock wall, it's really important that they have like a sneaker of some kind. There will be some runnings. Flip-flops probably aren't the best idea unless you want them to wear them in the shower. Things that they will not need while they are at camp. We provide flashlights for our counselors. We provide sunscreen. We provide bug spray. We do have extras in case you forget any toiletries for you. We encourage them to not bring any sort of electronics. There really is no time during the day for them to use them. We don't watch TV. We don't play video games during camp. The traditional camp activities take up every inch of our schedule throughout the day. For pictures, we have our lovely Pablo comes and takes really great quality cabin pictures for us, and usually leaves one of his nice cameras with me to take some of those candid photos you guys like to see throughout the week. And we have created a Facebook page specifically for LUM camp parents where we will upload those pictures for you to see. So the campers will not need to bring like a camera or a smartphone or anything for that, because we'll capture those moments for you. Your email address that your registration was under is what I'll search for on Facebook to add you to that group. It will only be you parents of this year. Parents from the past years will be removed from there, and it is a private group. Those pictures you are free to share with your family members, but I will only be accepting and inviting people that are listed on your parent as a parent on your registration. I don't have the time to go through and accept everybody's sister and grandma and mom and dad that want to add into that Facebook page. So it'll just be you as their caregiver that was listed on their registration. But I'm happy to be able to provide those pictures for you, and they'll also pop up on LUM's website after camp is over too, so you can go back and find those. All right, let's talk about drop off. We have for drop off for you, pick up for us. We're gonna pick up your campers on Tuesday. We need you to be at the Imagination Station at 8:30. Please do not arrive before that because we need to have space to get the buses in there. We ask you to park around it, not in the Imagination Station parking lot, because we have to set up our check-in with our social distancing requirements. We ask that it just be you and your camper. Both of you need to be wearing masks. You're going to get in line with your luggage. We will have X's marked on the spot for you so that you know where to move next. We'll do our temperature check-ins. You'll give your medications if you have any to the nurse. We will tell you what cabin your camper is in, and then you will move to the bus that your camper is assigned to. Their luggage will be put only with the kids that will also be in their cabin, and then they will sit on the bus only with the kids that are also in their cabin. This will be the time where you can say your goodbyes. Your camper is going to get on the bus, and as every parent wants to do, everyone wants to stand there and wait until the bus pulls away for you to wave as they all leave, and the campers are waiting for it too. That's going to be probably the most difficult time for us to socially distance, so I ask you to be mindful of that, so that we don't have people in the way as we're trying to get the buses out. It's going to be a process for us to learn and get, because it's new for us, but we want you to be able to say your goodbyes and wave as they leave still. Your campers will get hand sanitizer as they get on the bus, and then once they get to camp, they'll be with their cabin and their little pod that they'll move around with. Just a reminder, do not pack your medications. We want you to hand those to the nurse. She will be there with us. If you have more than one camper, we want you to get in line with them, all with you, and then you will drop them off at their bus because they probably won't be on the same one. So as that happens, we'll just do them one at a time to get them on the right bus. That means your goodbyes won't be together, they'll be one at a time. Then they'll come with us. They'll have a great time. They'll be well fed. They'll get lots of sleep and have lots of amazing activities to tell you about once they get back, like the trail ride they get to do this year, the fact that they got to touch a horse. Some kids, that's all they need is to just touch a horse. They don't need to ride it at all. They'll have so many exciting things to share with you. And then Friday, we will be at
Hey, Marlena, before
Yes.
you go to Friday, I just try to practice some active listening here for myself. So Tuesday morning, we're supposed to report there at 8:30 a.m. Only one person with our campers. Everybody who's going is wearing a mask, and we're not parking in that main lot right by Imagination Station. We're on side streets and everything. And then we stand in these socially distant lines that will be marked out for us. We'll get assigned, our kids will get assigned a cabin, at which point we'll go to another line, and that cabin line will form. All of the luggage will go on, the medication will be in a separate bag, and we'll go to the person the medication needs to go to. We say goodbye to our kid there, and we move along. And so the kids are in their cabins on the bus. They go have a wonderful time. Did I get all that right?
Yes.
All
I
right.
know I'm throwing a lot of information out there, so I appreciate you pausing for that. I see a question just popped up about providing masks for your kids. If you have one, yes, please bring it and have them wear it while they're at check-in. If not, we have masks that were donated to us specifically for LUM Camp. So I will have those there for us as well if you need one.
It'd be great if you put your name on, your kid's name on the mask.
Yes.
As I know myself, I misplace my mask about 3 times a day, so I need my name on it too.
Excellent. All right, are we ready? All right, now there's a reminder on the information I sent you about the drop-off time, and then there's a reminder about pickup. So once your kids have had a fantastic week, we're gonna bring them back to you at 2 p.m. on Friday. Again, if you get there before us, do not park in that main lot so that we have plenty of room for our buses to come out. And then we're going to unload them by cabin. So if you have multiple kids, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer this year until we get everybody off the bus and with their parent. So they'll be released from the bus, they'll get their luggage, they will come find you. We ask that you wear your mask when you arrive. Your camper will already have theirs on, and then you take them and their luggage to your vehicle. If you have other campers, we ask that you take the ones that come first, put them over by your vehicle or in your vehicle with their luggage, and then come back and get the other one or other ones. That way we don't have people mingling together and then make it difficult to do social distancing. We have, once everybody's gone, you know, we usually have things left over. We have lost and found. There is every year at least a couple socks that are left over in there, a towel or two. So we encourage you to put your name or your camper's name on all of those so we can get those back to you. But once 2 o'clock hits, it's not usually long before they're back into your care and are probably ready for a snack. And that'll end their time here at camp. Usually it's a great week and we have a lot of fun and they have lots of things to talk to you about on the car ride home. If you have people dropping off or picking up that is not you or is not an emergency contact on your registration, that name needs to be given to the people that check in so that I know when I'm out there in the parking lot at drop off that I know who's taking your child with them. So if that's not you or someone on your emergency contact, let me know. If that person changes during the week of camp, email me. I check it every day that we're at camp, multiple times throughout the day in case I need to see communication from you to let me know if any of that needs to be updated. Okay. So.
Great job, Marlena. We have some questions. I think some of them you answered, but I'm just going to go ahead and ask them of you and you can answer them. Thank you for talking us through that. That was very informative. Great job. Here's one question. Are we allowed to talk to our children while they are at camp?
That is an excellent question that comes up every year. I wish I could give you time every day to speak with your camper, but we logistically don't have time in the day for that. We've also felt that that kind of communication usually causes homesickness at night. So once they come to camp, we like them to be in camp mode, thinking about camp, enjoying camp, and wait until they get home on Friday to tell you all about it. That is why I've also asked you to write a handwritten letter from home. If a camper is going to get homesick, it is usually Wednesday night or Thursday morning. They've then been at camp for a full 24 hours, and that's kind of when I miss mom, I miss dad, I want to see my pets kind of sets in. So we provide them with that letter from you that's kind of showing them a little bit of love. We talk to them about what great things do you want to tell your parents about when you get home to try to keep them focused on camp. Because we really want them to be able to finish out the week and not miss out on any of those opportunities. And if they needed to go home, you would have to drive out there to get them, and it's about a 40-minute drive. So it's not a small feat. So no, we don't do regular communication with campers while we are there.
Great. Do we find out the cabins tonight?
No, we wait until Friday for me to assign them campers and counselors together. If you have a special request of who you would like to be like with your child, if they have a friend that's also attending, you're more than welcome to email that request to me. Please know that they are divided up in cabins based by age. So if you have a 10-year-old that wants to be with an 8-year-old, that's not something I'm going to be able to make happen. But if they're close in age and would prefer to be together, I will try my best so that they've got a friend that's there. They will be shocked to see how many people come that they already know, like from school or from programs that you've had them in, like sports and stuff. So they'll definitely not be without a friend. But if you have a request for that, let me know.
Another question. A particular child has a journal to just kind of record feelings. Will there be time and space for that child to continue to write emotions down throughout camp?
I would say yes. If your camper is one that's speedy to get ready in the morning, they're going to have time waiting on everyone else to get ready before we move on with our day. The same as they're getting ready for bed. If they're waiting in line for shower, they'll have time then. Our deer time, if they've read through their books and would prefer to journal during that time, there's nothing wrong with that either.
Perfect. Are the pictures being uploaded as camp is happening or after, or both?
That's a good question. On the Facebook group, they will be added at camp during camp. You'll probably see a bunch of uploads happen at night because we're out kind of in the middle of nowhere. The Wi-Fi takes a bit to upload that many images, but we will do our best to upload them each evening for you. So be looking for those, and then after camp, LUM will add them to our LUM our LUM website. Yes, has a LUM camp page that will have those uploaded as well, and you can go back and see past camps and the pictures that they have from there if you want.
Are parents supposed to provide a mask, or is LUM providing a mask?
We have donated masks that we can give to your camper if they need it. If you want to send one to get them used to what they're going to be wearing, if they were to go to school, you're more than welcome to do that. I would put their name on it in case it gets misplaced and ends up in my lost and found. I would know who to give it back to.
Do children need to have a cup, a specific drinking cup they need to bring in light of COVID?
That's an excellent question. We will be providing all of our campers with a water bottle. We usually do like the big coolers with the little paper cups, but we are not doing that because of COVID. Adults will be administering the ice water, and we will be putting them in the water bottle that we give your camper, so that we don't have 50 fingers touching the spigot of that cooler to get the water out. At meals, mealtime, your kid will have a cup where they will have milk, water, lemonade, and juice that's available to them, and the Hanging Rock staff cleans those between each meal. So you don't have to provide that.
Okay, will a sleeping bag be enough, or should there be an extra blanket that goes along with the sleeping bag because of the air conditioning and cooler temperatures?
That's a good question. Sleeping bag's usually pretty good. We have some kids that don't have a sleeping bag, so they'll bring like a sheet and a blanket. That's perfectly fine too. We usually have some extra blankets in case they do get cold, that they're welcome to use for the week, and then we'll collect them back in on Friday.
You had mentioned sending a letter with a child. How does that letter get submitted?
So the letters are handwritten, and they need to be dropped off to our LUM office by Friday. Myself and the camper or the counselors leave on Monday, so I will not be in the office Monday to collect your letter if you have not turned it in. So it really needs to be turned into the office by end of the day on Friday. If you work nights or work during the day and can't get there until after our office closes, you're welcome to drop your letter into the mail slot in the door. Just put your camper's name on it, and they'll know that it's for me.
Good. Thought of a question of my own that while you're talking, have you seen any of these letters, or do you have any coaching for the parents on just a good little camp letter to write? What would it include, in your opinion?
I don't have any on me. They're all at the office right now. They're usually a short letter written by you that says, you know, I hope you're having a great time. We love you. We miss you. Can't wait to hear about the fun activities that you're doing. I've seen ones that are written in cursive, which we will read to your camper. A counselor will read it to them privately, because sometimes there's you know, sensitive lovey-dovey stuff in there. We have seen like pictures. Sometimes people put like their cat and dog's name on there. Just adding a little love for the kiddo to know that you guys are thinking about them.
Okay, another question. My daughter will be without a friend, so could I have her placed with other 8-year-olds?
Yes. If she's 8, she's going to be placed with 8-year-olds, maybe some younger 9s. But she will be placed with kids her own age.
Okay. Marlena, there might be a couple of private questions to you.
No worries. I can go back and read them when our meeting's over and respond through email. If that's okay.
So if they don't get homesick, do they still get the letter, or do you have to wait until they're homesick? When do you pull out that letter? That's
a great question. Everybody gets their letter Thursday morning. I have had situations where Wednesday night we have had a camper that was very homesick. They did get their letter early just to help get them through that night. But typically everybody gets theirs on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Which is why I need it by Friday, so that it is with me at camp, so that I have it to give to your camper as a mail call on Thursday morning.
Great. All right. Are there any other questions? You can either chat or raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask your question.
Oh, I see a message from Christine. By this Friday, if you have not turned in your letter, I need it by Friday so that it's going to camp with me on Monday, because I go a day earlier.
So we're talking this week, this Friday. Yeah.
This Friday, yes, this Friday. Any questions or concerns? For the few faces I can see, I'm getting some shakes there. I'm excited for everyone to come to camp. I think your kids are going to have a great time, even with our restrictions that we have to put in place. We are very lucky. If you watch the news and stuff, there is some stuff going on with other camps around the country. We are lucky that our camp is under 100 people. A lot of the news that I have seen are from camps that have like 300 plus campers that are there. So we are very lucky to be able to offer our same camp experiences just because we are so small. So I appreciate you letting your kids come. They're gonna have a great time. I see a question in here. So plan B for a rainy day. That's an excellent question. This year we have rainy day boxes that have been created for each cabin. So they're going to be outside a lot. In order for them to have a break from the air conditioning or in case it does rain, they have a designated spot just for their cabin where they will get to play the different things that we have in our box. So there's board games, there's card games, there's like those little sports balls. If your kids play like quiet ball at school, they'll get to do some of those. Our counselors will have a whole handbook full of group activities that they can do inside to help with that. Right now, I actually checked the weather the other day before the storms today rolled in, but I believe we're going to be in the high 80s, low 90s most of the time. So I'm expecting it to be quite nice while we're at camp. They'll get lots of water. They always have the option of taking a break in the air conditioning in their cabin too if they need a break. So that's our plan B.
Did have a few other questions. How old are the counselors? How old does a person have to be a counselor?
Excellent question. Our counselors range in age. We take a few junior counselors with us each year, which are about 16 and 17-year-olds. We have everyone else is an adult counselor. They range in age from like 18 to like 80. We have some great retired individuals that come and spend their week with us. Some of them that are actually like clowns in real life that go out and like visit hospitals and visit schools. So it kind of ranges in age for our counselors. We take a minimum of 24 with us. So your kiddo is going to be matched up with ones that we think are good with that age group to get them throughout the week. They're all background checked. A lot of them are returning counselors from each year. And like myself, I was a camper way back when, a long time ago. A lot of our counselors are also repeats from campers that come back because they enjoy the experience so much. So you get kind of a blend of those people.
3 more packing questions.
Okay.
Would you suggest pants and a shirt pajamas?
I would.
Okay.
If your kiddo sleeps hot, you can pack shorts and pants if you'd like, but the air conditioning can get a little chilly at night.
Shorts and t-shirts for the day, leggings and hoodies for nights?
Yes, I would do shorts and t-shirts for sure. During the day, I would send stuff you don't mind getting dirty, especially if they go and play in the creek. Make sure they got some socks that you don't mind getting dirty. Like if they're white, they may not come back white if they go trekking through the creek a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
That's about right.
All right. Last call on questions.
You mentioned towels on your sheet. Are you meaning 2 washcloths and 2 big towels or both?
So I would do 1 washcloth that they can use throughout the week.
Okay.
And a towel for the shower and a towel for swimming.
Okay.
In case they don't dry in between uses.
Okay.
You can just send the 1 and we'll make it work.
Well, I sent 2 at 2 because I wasn't for sure by the list.
Yeah,
So,
I would do 2 if you've got them available. And I know that towels are not cheap. So
no, the towels I sent, they can be thrown away if they need to be. They're those towels.
Good. If you definitely want your towels back, make sure their name is on it, because there's always a stack of towels that I get back because they won't claim them once they're in lost and found sometimes.
Okay.
Can the kid have a portable fan?
That's a good question. I would say yes, if you think your child will be responsible with it. They make those little ones on lanyards that you can have outside. As long as they're using it appropriately, I don't mind them having one. It's going to be warm. But if we start playing with it in inappropriate ways or get our hair caught in it and stuff like that, I might hold on to that and give it to you on Friday.
Fair enough. Great.
These are excellent questions.
Very good questions.
So there's some in the chat that I can respond to you privately in an email if you'd like. Not a problem at all.
Mm-hmm. If the fan's like an electric fan, can they bring it, or it has to be a battery powered one?
Like an electric fan to sleep with?
I think so.
That's a good question. As a fan sleeper myself, I would not sleep well without one. The cabins are quite large, but they don't have a whole lot of outlets. So I can't guarantee that they'll be close to their bunk somewhere where they can use it.
Yep. Okay. Great. Well, oh, another clothing question. Jeans and blouse in the clothing, do they need a dress up outfit of some kind?
Nope.
Okay.
Everything's pretty casual, comfortable, light.
Shorts and t-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
swimsuit and t-shirt, whatever. Yeah.
Yep. I will mention for swimming, they do require, it's a hanging rock rule. It's not a LUM rule, that girls need to have a one piece. If you don't have a one piece, because I know a lot of them are two pieces these days, just like a light tank top or something they can wear over it. It's a midriff issue that Hanging Rock has, that they require like their lifeguards and us adults to follow as well. And we'll make sure that they've got shirts and shorts on as they walk to the pool, which is also a rule of Hanging Rocks.
Okay.
It's not usually an issue though once we get there.
Great. Well, great job, Marlena. Oh, another
Sorry.
question.
I have a question. You're recording this, right?
We are.
Yes.
So is it going to be posted on the Facebook page, or how can we get, if we wanted to watch it again for some reason?
Mm-hmm.
We could post, I could probably post it on Facebook. I'm not sure how long it'd take to upload an hour-long video, but I can try.
Okay, I don't think I would need to, but since I have somebody else dropping him off, I want to make sure that they have. I took a picture of the imagination station, but maybe it just might be better if they watch it too. I don't know.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good question. We will try to make this available either via Facebook, or if we have to create a special link on LUM's website, we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
So. Great. Well, Marlena, excellent job talking us through all that. Everyone else, great questions, great listening. Looking forward to a wonderful week next week.
Done with that, right? Me too. If you guys have any last minute questions that come up between now and Friday, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
All righty. Great. Well, we will plan to see you all on Tuesday, or whoever's dropping off your kiddos. And again, as Marlena said, contact us if you have questions. Other than that, have a great evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.